Well, Melinda said that Bill needs to answer to questions about these allegations. As we keep saying, they all need to answer about these allegations. And do you think his denials in the interview are enough?
One of the things that Bill Gates has now been accused of, and we played the video yesterday where his wife basically admits it, is that Bill Gates apparently got an STD from one of the Epstein girls. That doesn't mean it was an underage girl. I don't know that we have evidence of that specifically, but apparently went there, got an STD from somebody, then asked Jeffrey Epstein what medication he could get so that he could basically secretly give it to his wife, which that I think is a criminal offense in and of itself. So he could be in some hot water here. Anyway, he is doing a little press, which is kind of surprising because these guys usually cut and run. Here he is on 9 News talking to Charles Croucher about, well, his argument is some of these emails actually were never even sent. They're things that Epstein sent to himself. Take a look.
No doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. Was he trying to attack me in some way? But it just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you, do you think?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Is it frustrating to you, given what you've said, that this is now happening?
Not really. I mean, people should, hold people who are successful to a very high bar.
All right, so there's a couple interesting things here. First off, let me just say, I have no more insight into any of this than you do. It's as simple as that, right? I don't. Now, first off, why is he doing any press about this right now? It just seems a little bit odd. You would think that he's got a team of like 1,000 lawyers like, Bill, shut up. But okay, he's doing it. I guess we'll give him credit for talking about that. He does say there very specifically that he never went to the island. Now, if he was ever on the island, there's going to be some evidence of it through flight logs or photos or something. But he clearly said he's never been to the island and he never did anything with these girls. He just went to dinners with this guy. I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. Why did he then ask Jeffrey Epstein to get some stuff so that his wife wouldn't get an STD from apparently somebody he had sex with? I mean, this is just where it's like we are going to need hardcore internet sleuths. But my general feeling on this is we're never going to figure out the full story, but someone's going to pay the price, and it does seem to be aimed at him. Here are the ladies of The View, and they are turning on Bill, apparently.
I know nothing. I did nothing.
Well, Melinda said that Bill needs to answer to questions about these allegations. As we keep saying, they all need to answer about these allegations. And do you think his denials in the interview are enough?
No, I mean, people can read what the Department of Justice itself released in terms of the Epstein files and Bill Gates. It's written right in the emails, and I do think that he needs to answer to it.
I like when they say I was not on the island, as if that's the only place any of this stuff could happen.
Yeah, his homes, they were spooky. Everyone describes them, including Melinda Gates, as I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door when she met Epstein.
Yes.
He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it after.
All right, so again, I don't know what any of this is true, and Melinda Gates, like, did you say that to Bill? What was the nature of your relationship? Did you walk in, go, this is spooky, I have to leave, or did you stay for dinner, and like, were there people there? I don't know. Now, the crazy part of this, I mean, we just fact-checked this. You want to hear something crazy? Are you sitting comfortably in your chair right now? Are you on the couch? You got a nice, you got that, what do they call it, that cloud couch from Restoration Hardware where you can really sink in? Because you might fall off your seat right now. Whoopi Goldberg is mentioned in the Epstein files 21 times. And I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with Ghost or, what was the nun movie? Sister Act, thank you. And Alyssa Farah, the pet Republican there, who they give a cookie to on Fridays, she's mentioned 20 times. I'm not saying they did anything. I have no freaking clue. But what I'm saying is there's something about some of this that feels a little Me Too-y to me. Once we start grabbing people and we don't have actual full hardcore evidence, which of course, if there's hardcore evidence that someone did something illegal or illicit or knew what was going on and blah, blah, you go for them. But once we start going with some of this, well, that person's in this email and this person's on that thing. By the way, there's a lot of evidence that the KGB probably had something to do with this, so there's probably multiple layers of confusing people with emails. Something's rotten in Stinktown, but in Stinktown, apparently Whoopi and Alyssa Farah had been there a couple of times.